Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Thursday, November 3rd, 2022, and tonight I'll be covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all the episodes of the show along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page. That is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And, of course, this is, I guess you could say, sort of the last day of the marathon here. I've been doing shows now for 12 days since near the end of October, all the way through today. So, due to that, there will not be any bonus shows this weekend. But there will be at least one or two later on in the month. So, but I have other projects to work on in terms of writing, and so I want to get to those this weekend. And of course, once I have those out and published, I will give you all more details on that. But and I only have a few stories to share for tonight, just because just not feeling up to doing a super long news show. So I apologize for that, but hopefully after a weekend, a little break there, I'll be able to go to the full 5 news articles I like to do on these episodes when I can. So, and I've already put the 3 articles in the text channel here, in the chat channel, and I will include the links to those in the episode descriptions on the podcast and YouTube feeds in the description there. So you all will be able to find them and read them all for yourselves, because, as I always say, I just sort of skim over them and bring up the points that are interesting to me, and of course there are usually images as well. So I think that takes care of everything for now, and that means I can get to the articles. And so let's see here. This first one is from mirror.co.uk. That's MIRROR. Sometimes I have a hard time saying that word. And the title of this article is "Man Shares Creepy Footage After Spotting Mysterious Twin UFOs Flying." And there are still images and apparently a video clip in this article here for y'all to check out. So apparently, according to these images in this video, it shows 2 mysterious lights, it says, hiding behind a cloud before diving to the ground and disappearing. And so apparently, I'm guessing that he must think that they are 2 separate ones, but flying in unison. I always wonder about that, if it is 2 separate ones or if it's just 2 lights on one object. But either way, they appear to be behind clouds to start with, and then diving to the ground, and they apparently fade away one right after the other. That to me almost does suggest 2 separate ones, but again, I don't know. And let's see here. Just looking at this here. Says that the original witness said, or asked if anyone else in San Diego saw that. And then apparently there are other witnesses in the video who ask about the lights, and apparently see the same thing. So let's see here. So let's see here. Just checking on this. So apparently when they're in the cloud, they separate a little bit further. So it could be 2 different ones. But anyway, they spiral slowly towards the ground. That's odd. If they're going slowly, but if they're spiraling as well, that's different. Um, the objects slow down and then come to a stop in the sky. So apparently they don't hit the ground as far as people can see. But the lights dive down again, and one of them vanishes. And let's see here, just looking at the rest of this here. And of course, it mentions that there's a lot of debate over whether these are aliens, of course, or just unknown objects, lights. So yeah, apparently there is an object in a picture that appears to show a round object that resembles flying saucers depicted on TV and in film. So that's odd. First there were two lights, and then there was this object. So let's see here. Looking at this. So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. This is two separate ones. So yeah, there's sightings still going on around the world, and of course there's debates over whether or not any of that is man-made, human-made, or not. And it's an interesting thing to keep checking on. Whenever I find these sightings, I like to share them, just in case someone one of these days figures something out and is actually brave enough to talk about it more. But yeah, looking at the chat here, Lamasfina, if you want to type that out and send it to me, that UFO story, or we can schedule you to be on the show one time. I'd be happy to do that. I don't do call-in shows all the time. Otherwise, I would, but because it kind of might become a little bit hectic if I just start having everyone on at random. Not that I'm saying you're saying you want to do that, but I'm just to keep things organized. So, but yeah, that'd be good. I'm always interested in stories of experiences. So, and let's see. Thank you for being here. Also, I see APOC. Thank you as well. Okay, good. For a second, I didn't see the recording spot there, and I was worried that I'd lost it, but it seems to be okay. So that's the first story I had to share. This next one is related to that Michigan episode that Derek and I did on Monday for Halloween, because we talked about this this incident in the 1990s, 1993, 1994, I believe, around there, where over a couple hundred people, 300 people, at least 300, it says here in the article, is reported to see several UFOs hovering various towns in Michigan, out on the west side of the state in Lake Michigan that night. And that's what that episode of that show covered. That's what episode of that show covered. That show, the Unsolved Mysteries show, the new one. They did an episode covering that, and there were even pilots who saw these lights. And the director of this the show, last name is Torres, I guess, mentions that they think that they didn't get to put. I don't think they put on the show. I'm not sure if that was just too out there or not. But there are reports, I believe, in the area around that same time of these UFOs hovering above, of course, water, and drawing water up in almost like reverse waterfalls up into themselves. And so the director is actually interested in this, which is really amazing. The fact that they're being sighted and everything, and the director thinks that these objects or whatever they are, if they're alien or not, are here to observe and sort of figure out who we are, it says. And of course, they don't think they're a threat to us. The director here, I think it's always more complicated than that. There's probably some that are, some that aren't. But still, it's really neat to see this article talking about this director um, for this article, and this article from a non paranormal related site. This is from I forgot to mention this, moviemaker.com. Anyways, a site not associated with the paranormal to do an article on this and cover it. So, um, so yeah, really. Okay, so there was they did go over it in the episode. I missed it. I forgot about it. So yeah, that was covered in the episode. The report from two campers who saw a UFO object in the sky hovering over Lake Michigan and drawing up huge amounts of fresh water. So, really amazing that this is still getting a little bit of coverage out there. And of course, they refer everyone to the show, which of course they're going to, but still, it's amazing that it's even covered. So, that was the second article I wanted to cover or mention tonight. And so now this last one, I already shared this actually in another server and then with another friend, because this to me is, it's so accurate, and but it's also so sad in a way and almost frightening in another way. But I'll get to it here, and you all can judge for yourself, and I'll read the bullet points and everything. And this is actually from Forbes.com, as in the financial website or organization. Here is the title. Let me know what you all think of this. It says, if we make contact with aliens, the biggest danger will be our politicians, say scientists. I'm just going to read that again. It says, if we make contact with aliens, the biggest danger will be our politicians, say scientists. Just let that sink in, that this is coming from a mainstream site. And that's what they're saying, and they're covering this, or that's what they're saying scientists are saying. So they're actually covering this. And I saw this and I had so many, I mean, first of all, I laughed because it's like, I couldn't believe that I was seeing that. But yeah, so let me just get to the article here. I will leave you all to make up your own mind, of course, because I always recommend that. But yeah, so this article here, let's see here. This says, let me see here. So it mentions that a major growth area in astronomy is exoplanets, which are planets orbiting other stars outside of the solar system. And so it talks about how unlikely it is, of course, for us to find aliens within this system. But it mentions that there are radio telescopes being pointed all over the night sky as astronomers check out distant galaxies and stars. And this is where the article asks the question, what happens if they pick up technology or a message from technology from another place? And it says that there's this paper that just came out and was accepted for a future issue of Space Policy. Talks about the what the scenario of this encounter, this contact, and not what should happen, which of course peaceful contact would be the best. That would be the best thing there. But so it's not about what should happen, but what would happen. And I think that's a key point, because obviously we all want the best possible outcome for everyone. But as far as what would happen, it's hard to say. But I do agree with them in this. It says that there are a few recommendations here for how the world should deal with this event, this basically historic event, which would be transparency and data sharing between organizations and nations, development of post-detection protocols, and education of the policymakers. And so that's what this paper is about, which is this whole array of kind of like simulations or scenarios that were considered by all these scientists about what would happen if our politicians around the world, I'm guessing, would get involved in this. And we've seen before with politicians, no matter what party or what organization. Again, I don't really like to talk politics because personally, I think it's all just corruption and manipulation of thoughts and ideas of the people in general. And so I feel like even though we should possibly, if we could, show a unified kind of welcome to these other beings, you're going to have politicians all around the world trying to spin things just the right way so that they get the most power and credit and possibly physical resources out of the whole deal, and never mind what happens to everyone else. So just wanted to share that because I think it's important. And yeah, definitely check out that article because it goes into a lot more detail than I can. Concepts that I barely understand. So just check out that article and let me know what y'all think, because I kind of agree with them that it could be a problem. Having multiple politicians from multiple countries that all have their own agendas, or at least various agendas, could lead to a lot of trouble. So I think that covers everything. So Sunday, I'll be back on Sunday with more true paranormal stories from the web. And then Monday will be more paranormal news. Tuesday will be more true paranormal stories from the web. Wednesday will be another book review, probably some more Lovecraft. And Thursday, of course, next Thursday, of course, will be more paranormal news. Yeah, politics. It's a distraction. Yep. Yeah, so I agree, Apoc. But so that covers everything. Thank you all for listening. And I will talk to you all on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone.